Hello everybody, it's your non-binary pal Gracious E.V.A here, and welcome back to another chill speed paint video. I know I had a couple of bigger, I say bigger, and the other one was a short animation, but a couple of different videos the last couple of weeks. But this week I just wanted to do something fun and chill and do another chill speed paint video. And this one is just a scene that I wanted to draw. I kind of had it in my head, and there was a couple things I actually was wanting to practice with this one, so that is the backstory for this drawing. And I ended up going with my character Monarch, my non-binary pixeling character to draw here. And yeah, before I did this, I got a bunch of references. I made like a whole mood board, which helped a lot with this and kind of helped me decide what to add and what not to add and stuff, as well as some stuff for what I wanted to practice on. Specifically, the things I ended up practicing on with this one is a more complex pose and hair floating in the water, being like floaty in the water. And yeah, before I started, I got like this little 3D model of like a bathtub to help with the dimensions on that, which I think helped. And I also was really struggling with the sketch on this one specifically for the character because I couldn't decide on a pose to draw. I was switching back and forth between them being more in the water and being like not in the water more. I ended up going with them actually being more in the water because it was the more complex of the poses and I wanted to challenge myself. The hair was also a bit tricky to sketch, and I ended up actually deviating from it a bit when doing the line art, which always is a bit of a pain to do. And also some of the details were a bit hard to sketch, but were easier to add in the final product because I just used a bunch of stamp brushes and decorative brushes, which are always very helpful. Lining the character and everything was simple. Coloring it was a bit interesting because some of the stuff wasn't going to be shown because the water would be covering up, not completely, but like sort of, yeah, mostly covered. And also the hair would be covering a large chunk of the character as well. And what I ended up doing for the hair is making it very swirly. That's kind of what I found was like the similarities between all the reference pictures I saw, was that the hair was like very like, it became like very swirly and wavy, almost like ribbons. But yeah, that's how I ended up drawing the more floaty hair here, and I think it ended up looking good. I think I made the illusion of depth here pretty well. Obviously, I would practice on this more in future drawings, but I think this is a good first step. And then I worked on the background a little bit first because there was a lot of background details and also a lot of different lighting sources. Not a lot, but there was like the little lamp that I had in the corner there, and I wanted some like more ambient lighting coming from the water too, because shiny water is fun. And yeah, I had a fun time with that. I'm not quite sure on the yellow now looking at it. Yellow is a good contrast with purple, but I don't know if it really reads as a contrast because there's so little of it. But the rest of the color choices I'm happy with. And overall, this artwork did take quite a while due to just the number of things that I had to work on shading wise, and then figuring out how to draw like the water. I have a bunch of water brushes now that's helpful for when drawing water, but it was a bit tricky here because I wasn't quite sure of what order I wanted to draw it. I also wanted to add like flowers in the water, and yeah, I had to figure out how to make that work, as well as choosing what leaf brush to add for the decorative leaves in the background, and then how much shading I wanted to do for the little dessert foods. I know it sounds like it was a lot and I didn't have a really fun time, but I actually did. I did actually have a pretty fun time with this one. And like I said, the main goal was to like do a little practice on some scenery, and practice having the hair be more flowy in the water, and I think that ended up going really well. I think my favorite part is the water, actually. I think that ended up looking really nice. I do kind of wish I added like a little more shading to the flowers I added, but that's alright. The water itself I think is my favorite, and the way the hair looks. Yeah, I think those are my favorite parts of this drawing. But with that, that's pretty much all I have to say. I know I don't have too much to say for this one, but yeah, like I said, it was pretty complex to work on. It took a while because of all the elements, but I'm happy with it. And I hope you like it too, because you're going to see the rest of the process, and I will see you at the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to watch more videos like this, you can subscribe. And I also have different videos. Last week I posted my second sketchbook tour, so you can check that out if you would like to. And I have my comics in the description, as well as my other artworks. I actually just recently got a Linktree thing set up for myself, so I'll probably post that in the description. You let me know how well that works, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.